Hi, everyone. Welcome to the March 2022 edition of Pitch Perfect. Very excited to have you all here with us today. So ahead of just getting started there, wanted to run through quick kind of forward-looking statements. So just be mindful of the fact that this presentation may contain forward-looking information. There can be no assurance that forward-looking information will prove to be accurate, as actual results in future events could differ materially from those anticipated in the statement. So accordingly, viewers should not place undue reliance on forward-looking information. So with that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to Brett to tell us a little bit about Plume. So just Plume, of course, being a growth activated clean beauty innovations for hair and lashes. Very excited to learn more about it. So Brett, please take it away.
All right, thanks for the intro, Trieste. Happy to be here. Start with a quick overview of the phenomenon known as clean beauty and why, as an investor, you should care about it. So for one, it's outpacing the rest of the $560 billion beauty and personal care industry by 3 to 1 in terms of growth. And two, 70% of consumers want clean beauty products, and they're actually willing to pay more for them. And three, and this is kind of interesting, most of these consumers will actually buy a clean option, even if it doesn't work as well as the conventional alternative. So I think this raises the question, what is it about these clean beauty products that makes them so compelling? And the short answer is that people have a very strong desire to avoid things that they believe to be toxic or harmful to them, especially putting them on their body or into their body. So people have started becoming more and more aware of the risks that certain cosmetic ingredients present. So this naturally drives them to try to avoid those things. And clean beauty products are known more than anything else for being free from those potentially risky kinds of ingredients. But here's where it gets tricky. Some of the ingredients that people want to avoid the most happen to be the ones that actually deliver the strongest effects and the best results in a lot of products. So Plume addresses the tremendous demand for safe and clean beauty products, but we do it in a way that doesn't require our users to have to sacrifice performance. We've done this by developing a 100% plant-based method of stimulating hair growth, which we now have a patent on, and we've taken this hair growth IP and built clean beauty products off of it that enhance lashes and brows. So until now, we've been focused solely on lashes and brows, and the biggest reason for that is that when it comes to product safety and avoiding things that are harmful, the eyes are probably the biggest area that people have the most concern with and really just don't want to risk messing around with. So Plume's products do such a good job of delivering these impressive results without any of the risk that we've become a top choice, not just for clean lash and brow products, but across the board, competing against giant brands and even prescription drugs. Once people try our products, they're often hooked, and our 58% returning customer rate through our online store is testimony to that. So our lash and brow enhancing serum has no synthetic hormones, no irritating preservatives, and contains no ingredients that could be considered anything less than 100% clean and natural. Oh, and it works on more than 97% of users. Oh, and it's also safe for women who are pregnant or breastfeeding. So we launched this product in 2015 and it sold out across North America within 4 weeks. In 2017, we launched our first dedicated brow product, and then in 2019, another. Both of these contain our patented growth actives, and this year we're launching a third brow product along with several other new releases that we're quite excited about. So here's a few of them. We have a liquid liner. We've got a growth activated mascara, and this is one that we've spent actually 5 years developing. So as you can imagine, our customers are quite eager to get their hands on it. And our instant hairline scalp stick. So this is a first of its kind product that delivers the look of a full, thick head of hair for anyone who's got concerns about density. And then if you're bald like me, it can deliver a flawless looking natural hairline literally within seconds. So we're launching 6 new products just in the first half of 2022 alone. And we have a full hair care line coming soon. With the time allotted today, I don't have time to walk you through it, unfortunately, but I'll say that it is coming. So taking a look at where we've come from and on our timeline here, you can see that we didn't just arrive overnight. It's taken several years of strong commitment to R&D to fully develop our intellectual property and to get our initial product line built. And this has gradually established Plume as a trusted brand within the hyper-competitive beauty industry. So now that we've done all of this hard work and we've laid this solid foundation, we're starting to be met with some really great opportunities to start seriously expanding our business. One of those is to roll out into 450 Shoppers Drug Mart locations across Canada. Another is to launch in Sephora. They're the largest beauty retailer in the world, starting with 28 stores in their Mexico region. And the last thing that I'd like to leave you with today is just on the sheer size of the multi-billion-dollar opportunity that's presented by clean beauty and clean hair care, and that Plume is in quite a phenomenal position to capitalize on it. So obviously, we'd love for you to be along for the ride. Thanks so much for listening. There's a QR code here that links to our campaign page. And for anyone who likes prizes, I'm wearing 3 Plume products right now. If you think you can guess what they are, just shoot me an email. And if you get it right, I will send you any full-size free Plume product of your choosing. Thanks very much.
That's great. Well, fantastic pitch, Brett. I've never had someone do a free giveaway with products on them through the pitch. So very unique. Love the creativity there. And definitely for those interested, shoot Brett a quick email. I think that's a great initiative. It was fantastic hearing a bit more about your guys' growth plans and things like that. So congratulations on the contracts in Shoppers and Sephora. That's huge for the growth of a beauty brand there. So really fantastic to see. I know you touched on a little bit kind of obviously the focus on clean beauty products, but for someone as myself who uses mascaras and all of those products, but maybe isn't quite as familiar, maybe you can touch on just a little bit more kind of the difference between those clean beauty products and classic beauty products. And, you know, obviously we're seeing trends towards that clean side of things. So maybe just touch on the industry there a bit more.
Of course, I think it really comes down to what's not in the products more than anything else. So if you look at the things that people are trending with around clothing and sustainability, organic and non-GMO food, it's really like avoiding pesticides or avoiding things that come out of a supply chain with child labor. With beauty and personal care, it's really avoiding things that are going to be potentially having negative impact on your health. And so clean beauty is doing something unique in the sense that we, the brands that are in this industry, we're building products that often are just as good or better than the ones that are made with a whole host of these quite potent types of compounds. And so I think it's interesting because we're doing a lot with less. And in some cases, it's working really well.
No, that's great for sure. And I think it's such an important aspect for consumers nowadays to know what's in their products, to know where it comes from. So that's a great point. And, you know, you touched on the fact that there really is such a rising consumer demand for it. And that probably leads into kind of the product expansions that you guys have been looking at over the last little bit. So maybe tell us just a little bit more, like, how are you guys doing the research for that? And how are you identifying those new products to expand into?
A lot of it comes from our customers. They'll email us and say, hey, when are you going to come out with a mascara? Or do you guys have anything for hair? And so I think that's driven a lot of the R&D. Once the R&D gets started, it really becomes just a game of trial and error and commitment. And so again, because we don't have the synthetic sorts of go-tos that a lot of brands do, we really have to invent it from scratch when we make some of these products, which is interesting from the intellectual property perspective, because often in that process, we end up creating new IP and there's patents that can come out of it and a lot of uniqueness. But does that answer that question?
No, absolutely. And I think it's always great to be hearing from your consumers and seeing what they want, and that, you know, helps prove that demand in the market and validate that. And I think that's, you know, great for customer retention, which you'd shown during the presentation is very strong for you guys at, I think, 58%. So that's great to see those strong numbers there for sure. One of the products that I'm interested in learning a bit more about is, I guess, one of your more flagship products, your lash enhancements. So I'm actually not too familiar with that myself. I know I've had, you know, the fake lashes and stuff like that for graduation and things throughout the years, but I'm not too familiar with kind of enhancement products there. So maybe you can describe that a bit more for everyone.
Yeah, the category itself really started with a prescription drug product called Latisse, which is an Allergan brand. And this was something that started off as a glaucoma drug, but it cause people's eyelashes to grow. So not necessarily an unwanted side effect, but over the time that's passed since that started in the market, a lot of brands have come in and done things that are similar, where they're using hormones to try to stimulate lash growth. The big thing that we identified and that my wife and co-founder Lauren experienced was that there's some really harsh side effects that come from using those types of ingredients. And some of them can involve discoloration of the eye, itching, burning, literally changing the color of the eyelid. And so that was one of the drivers, was to just try and see if there was a way to do this eyelash growth without anything that was harmful. And so that's really, I think, the biggest thing that Plume has that no other brand does, is that we're able to consistently deliver results that are on par with some of the stronger synthetic hormone compounds, but again, with none of the risk of side effects and where it doesn't sting or irritate.
For sure. That's a great founder story. And I feel like that's, the most case for how a lot of businesses start. It's just they experience a problem themselves and are eager to come up with a solution for it. So really great to hear for sure. And just last question that I want to get to quickly today is just, a little bit about the investment opportunity. So you're raising $250,000, you've got a 13-cent share price, $250 minimum investment. So for those tuning in today, why should they invest in Plume?
I think the biggest reason is that we've been at this long enough to really have figured out what we're doing and to have laid this foundation, like I said, for some solid growth. And it didn't happen overnight. And so I think just the sheer timing of it is probably the biggest thing that I would be excited about if I was looking at this as an investor. So we have a ton of growth that's just starting to happen now. We've spent a bunch of years really focused on R&D. The shift into marketing and into expanding through the sales channels that we've got the beginnings of a footprint in is going to be a lot of fun. And obviously it takes some capital to do it, but I think the results are really exciting that we're already starting to see.
That's fantastic. Well, great traction for the business. So amazing to see your guys' growth plans upcoming, and really appreciate you being here to deliver the pitch today. So thanks so much, Brett. Really appreciate that. So thanks to everyone who has joined us. Just as we're closing things up today, just wanted to finish, for anyone new who's not as familiar with FrontFundr and what we do, just introduce ourselves in being Canada's leading equity crowdfunding platform. We make it easy for all Canadians to invest in exciting startups and growth stage businesses, just as the 5 that you saw here today. And if you have any questions about getting started on FrontFundr, definitely recommend that you visit our website to learn more, and reach out to our support team at any time. If you have questions, they're able to assist you through the investment process and to answer any questions that you may have about the investment opportunity as well. So to all the attendees who joined us today, really appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time. We hope you join us again for the April edition of Pitch Perfect. And to all of our panelists today, thank you so much for your time, for telling us more about your businesses. It's so great to hear the mission and visions of what you do. You guys all have very admirable goals and are creating, very positive change. So really appreciate that. Thank you so much to everyone, and hope to see you all again soon.